Yo! What's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network live show. Technically, was going to try and go live at like 3:30, but that became seemingly impossible. Kids are kids, you know. I hope you guys have had a wonderful, well, again, we're behind schedule this week, right? Behind today, I was going to go live yesterday, and just wasn't possible. Wife got home a little late. We had a Zoom meeting with, well, not a Zoom meeting, but our daughter had a Zoom thing with her Girl Scouts. You know, they can't meet up in person, so they did a whole Zoom thing, and of course it happened right at the time I typically, you know, try to go live, and I thought, yeah, just not going to happen. You know, Monday was just a crazy day, jam-packed. What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Hooton's magazine, by the way, is out, is available. Not everywhere. They tweeted at me, so I tweeted at them. I was like, I put some video, little like 10-second clip video of this woman making these really unhappy, unsatisfied facial features, whatever. In the description of the tweet, it said something to the effect of when I'm in a store and they don't have Hooton's magazine on the shelves yet, you know. And of course, it's that woman making this face where she's like, she's obviously disgruntled. And then they quoted the tweet and they were like, it was pretty blunt. I forgot what they said, but it was pretty blunt. Like, there wasn't an LOL in there. There wasn't a, oh, ha, 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 Ty, you're funny. We have no idea who you are, but whatever. Okay, got a beer here. Look what I'm drinking today. It's 3 o'clock everywhere, right? Unless you're out west. Gonna drink this bad boy. Razorback Red, American Red Ale, 5.2%. I've really come around to this. Been listening to your podcast the last few days. Love it. Thank you. Now, are you talking about the Hog Talk or are you talking about the live shows, or maybe both? Because I think I've seen you in here before, Aaron. Here we go. You ready? It's the holiest sound a beer can make. Oh, yeah. There we go. Cold. Brisk. It's brisk. So, those are available. Hooton's magazine. I've been kind of reading. Oh my gosh, this was last year's Hooton's magazine. Trying to put this up. This was last year. Look at that. One of those guys was not at all what we thought they would be. But the other two, Trey Knox, Rakeem Boyd, yeah, we're happy with those two. Yeah, that was last year's Hooton's. This sucker, by the way, $17, $16.99 before taxes. I just dropped a water bottle. Yeah, they're expensive. So, really the point of today's show, obviously, to kind of get caught up on what we missed out on Monday, I want to let you guys know, tomorrow night, and I'd been thinking about doing this now for like a week. Oh, by the way, we added John Neighbors to the Discord. John Neighbors is in our Discord. Former Morning Rush host. Now he's down in Little Rock at the Buzz. They're not, I'm going to be honest with you, nothing against the Buzz. A lot of people up here, I'm not even lying when I say this, they have no idea what the Buzz is. They know of ESPN Radio, they know Bo Mattingly. That's nothing against the Buzz. They're in the largest market in the state. Most Razorback fans who listen to sports radio know about the Buzz. So it was pretty funny. I was texting some other friends of mine. I was like, "Oh my God, we got Neighbors in our Discord." They were like, "Wait, the Morning Rush guy?" I'm like, "No, he's down in the Buzz. He's in Little Rock at the Buzz." I'm like, "What is the Buzz?" And I'm having to pull my hair out. Like, come on, you know the Buzz. Anyways, we got him in our Discord. But went into his live stream. He had a Twitch live stream last night. He plays Call of Duty Warzone from time to time, and he talks about the Razorbacks. So we posted I did on my Twitter. If you want to go find his Twitch channel, you can go find that there. But it more or less re-emboldened my idea of, okay, absolutely, because tomorrow's my birthday. I turn a whopping 27. Okay, that's a lie. 28. No, I'll be I'll be 37 years old tomorrow. So I thought, let's do a birthday stream. It'd be fun. I've never done one before. So we're probably going to talk Hogs and play Call of Duty right here. So if you guys want to be part of that, I'm thinking somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. Be sure to hit the notification bell down below the screen. If you want to be notified. I know those notifications don't always go out, and I do apologize for that. That's just YouTube being YouTube. So, Mathew Hestand, thank you so much. Robert Ainsworth, yo! Gonna listen while I drive, Ty. All right, Jacob. Okay. Well, be careful. Both hands on the steering wheel, sir. Scott Painter, hey, Ty. In Honduras, watching. The Army move me again. Go Hogs. Please be safe, Scott, and thank you for your service, sir. Jacob Botwinick says LSU sucks, because that's a given in this channel. SpawnQuest Gaming says I love you. Oh, you're so sweet. You're just such a sweetheart. Thank you. What up, Ty? Finally caught a live show. Yeah, and this is typically earlier than we do live streams. I had to fit in. I had a window of opportunity, and I had to take it. Been binge listening to your podcast. Okay, so yeah, we'll get cleared up on that, Aaron. Let's see. Did you see the Washington Redskins or what? Washington Post? Oh, okay. For some reason I read that as Washington Redskins. I don't know why. I've been reading a lot about, the fans that aren't very happy about that situation. But did you see about the Washington Post said about the Texas Rangers? I did not. Are they going after? Is that now not okay to have a name like the Rangers? It's, look, my former junior high, Ramey Junior High in Fayetteville, they are no longer the Indians. Okay, whatever. And, of course, we had Arkansas State, that program east of here, whatever. They had to change their names. They used to be the Indians. They're now the Red Wolves. More's coming. And I've always been in this world or this mindset of I don't really care if it's not my teams, right? My teams are Razorbacks, Rams, Cardinals, the Celtics. I highly doubt that any of those teams will be affected, but I get the fans of those teams that are not happy with it. I get it. I understand it. It's not very, very happy with it. And some people identify with the logos and those names and the mascots of those teams. And to some capacity, whatever that may be, that's what I'm reading on Twitter anyways. What a world. We are to be offended by everything, right? I'll drink to that because we're offended by everything. Now, Ty, birthday tomorrow. That is right. Big man Ross, how's it going? Bro, it's 4. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, so you've been listening to the Hog Talks. All right, Aaron. Well, I'm glad you like them, man. We're the same age. Yeah, I'll be 37 tomorrow. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Who am I? Who am I? I'm the guy you pretend to be when you play Call of Duty, says Mark. I'm going to play it. Look, I don't play video games much anymore at all these days. I just don't have the time for it. But I told my wife, I was like, all right, look, we're going to set aside some time here. We're going to play Call of Duty Warzone. We've got Discord. It's going to be set up. If you guys play Call of Duty, if any of you play Warzone, maybe I'll reserve you a spot. You can hook up with us on Discord. You can join our chat. You will be on the stream, so keep that in mind. People will hear you talk because that's how we're going to party up. Now, I do have friends that want to play with me that are on PlayStation, so we'll have to use in-game chat for that. But regardless, I'm trying to get everything set up. My gaming capture, my capture card and everything I've had to update. I've had to update OBS. I actually logged into Call of Duty for the first time ever on my PC. I have never played Call of Duty on my PC. And so when I do play, I play on PlayStation 4. But in here, I have an Xbox controller, and it was like playing, I don't know, going from a PS4 Pro to this PC, which is a gaming PC. It's pretty souped up. And then using a different controller, playing on a different system, it was almost like playing an entirely different game. I don't know. Why is this whole world getting so butthurt over every little thing? No comment. I'm part Native American, and I like Indian name teams. Yeah. Big man Ross going great. I said it was 4 because you said it was 3 o'clock. Oh, okay. When you cracked open your beer. Well, that's the saying, right? At 3 o'clock somewhere, right? It's 3 o'clock somewhere. Isn't it 3 o'clock, right? Isn't that the song? Dang it, too bad. I'm still waiting on my internet, or I would play tomorrow. I'm sorry about that. I think they started giving out participation trophies for being offended. And Tanya Henry says, do you remember me? Yeah, I think I remember Tanya being in my chat. I typically remember most folks that come through. Most of the time. If you comment enough, it'll stick into my head. Okay. Woo! We're caught up with chat. Hopefully my kids, they're on the other side of the door. They can be chill for just a little bit. There's not a ton of stuff to really talk over. And by the way, speaking of participation trophies, what is with everybody going, preseason magazines, it used to be first, second. I can remember a time it was just first and second, all team, all conference selections. Now, Phil Steele and I believe everyone is going to this fourth alt. That's participation trophy awards is what that is. That's, hey, you happen to strap on the pads, you put a helmet on, you're fourth all team. I don't understand that. I think the cutoff should have been 2. If you want my honest-to-God opinion, the cutoff should be 2. But the reason why they do this, honestly, and I think it affects recruiting as well, recruiting sites, I do believe there's pandering that goes on to these big sites. So like Texas gets a 3-star commit, right? The Longhorns get a 3-star commit. 2, 3, 4 weeks later, that star's been bumped up to 4 stars. I feel like, and I'm not going to single anybody out, I talk with some of these people in my Twitter DMs from time to time, so I'm not trying to, they got a job to do, but there's no doubt in my mind that there's pandering that goes on with recruiting sites. I think these preseason magazines, Phil Steele included, they're just pandering. Look, you're someone from your team that you follow made an all-conference selection according to our preseason magazine. It's pandering, man. It's participation trophy award type BS. It's nonsensical. Why? First and second team. That's what it should be. All right? Facts are facts. But because of this, because Phil, and I don't know that Phil did this last year, or maybe he did and I just wasn't paying attention. His magazines have gone up in price over the years as well, along with Hooton's. Does Hooton's do? I have a Hooton's magazine. I had it opened up here. I showed you guys, but I had it opened up. I don't know if they do. I don't think they do for all-team conference selection, whatever. It's ridiculous. I think it's just ridiculous. Fourth team is still top 10%. I don't care. I don't care if it's top 10%. That's still ridiculous. Where was this 10 years ago? Why are they just now starting this trend during COVID-19 and everyone's... It's just like these sites now, they're requiring writers, and I can speak to this because I've been talking with Maven/Sports Illustrated. I never talked about this, but I ended up having to turn the opportunity down. But they gave me an idea of what kind of articles, like how much content they want me to produce. They want you to pump out more content, right? That you have to, and you have to pander. It's no different. I mean, it's what you do. Writers write, websites produce content. That's part of what you do, but. You could tell people are really doing everything they can to get out there, especially right now when there's no sports. I think this is part of it. I don't care that it's top 10%. I think it's pandering. Without a doubt, I think it's pandering. Arkansas is better than you think, says, hey, Ty, sorry I'm late, but I'm always... Hey, I appreciate you being here, man, and I appreciate it. 5 o'clock somewhere. Is that the saying? 5 o'clock somewhere. Okay. Fourth team's head coach is Jackie Moon. Do you play zombies on Call of Duty? No, I do not. I just play Warzone. It's free. Mark Douglas, we now see what a world of participation trophy and timeouts instead of spankings look like when that generation becomes adults. God help us when millennials, and technically I am a millennial because I was born in 83. I still don't know how that... I don't believe in that. I just don't believe. I would argue zillennial because I'm right in there between Generation X and millennials, but whatever. But imagine these people can vote. These people can vote. They're extremely active on social media. And what do you know? Is it a coincidence that things are the way that they are? I don't know. I don't know. It's more round. I don't mind, but it wouldn't expand more than that. Well, why not have fifth all-team conference? Why not sixth team all-conference? Seventh team, eighth team. I just stick it at two. Here's the best. Here's the second guy. Here's the guy that's on his heels. Second team. Finally able to catch a live stream. Enjoy the Razorback Reds on your birthday. Can't wait to try those next time I'm in Arkansas. Yeah. So again, tomorrow will be the birthday live stream, and I'm really excited, and I hope you guys can make it. It'll more than likely be somewhere between 7 and 8 p.m. is what time. Again, just be sure you have your notification bell. Click that notification bell and even then that thing doesn't seem to work, but that's your best opportunity. Aaron with the $5 dono, appreciate it, man. I accept up to 1984, Ty. If you want to, I can hop on and carry you. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm something special at Call of Duty Warzone, but I will talk that shit. I will. You can carry me. I've got a friend of mine who plays and is really good. I'm hoping he plays with me tomorrow. I mean, he's good. We'll play trios, battle royale trios, and it's not uncommon for him to have double-digit win or double-digit kills. It's ridiculous how good he is. Everybody's bored, so they do more, so they have something to do. They are adults. Look at our world now. Okay, let's get on to the what we have. And again, I know we get people from time to time. They come in, they watch these when they're done, these live streams when they're done, and they bitch about when we start like actually talking sports. Guys, it's a live show. There's not much to talk about. You got to have filler content. But I actually had someone DM me twice on that during the football season. Was like, I wish you would just open up and go straight to sports. And I'm like, but it's a live show. You ever listen to radio? Listen, even when Bo Mattingly, and I know there's love-hate out there, even Bo Mattingly, 50% of his show was them talking about what they did over the weekend. Okay? We have 30 to 45 minutes here. I try to do my best to give you as much content as there is that's out there, that's available. But sometimes it's just fun to interact with chat. It's fun to tell you guys what I've been up to. It's fun to tell you guys the plans of what I want to do in the next show. It's fun to just, again, interact with chat. I enjoy doing that. So if you have a problem with that, I don't know what to tell you. Just deal with it or go watch someone else's Razorback channel. Trey Biddy does really good stuff. He's straight to the point. There you go. Go to Trey Biddy. Go watch him. I don't care. I like Trey. Trey makes good content, by the way. Been doing what he's been doing with Hog Sports back when he was over on Rivals, too. He's done great work. I like Trey and Danny and all those guys. Nikki Chavanel does well, too, with Hogbeat. All right. Okay, 6 Razorbacks. Remember, we talked about the participation trophy awards and all this nonsense. 6 Razorbacks named to Phil Steele's all-conference team. Rakeem Boyd and Traylon Burks. I think I said, did I say Burks in my title? Did I? I don't have my title in front of me. I may not have. I was going through there as quick as I could. But Burks and Boyd get all conference, second team. Well, Boyd is second team, Traylon Burks is third team. That's fair. I think Boyd probably should be first, but you understand why they gave him second. Arkansas is a dumpster fire at this moment, and I know I'm gonna get some fight on that. Someone's gonna bark at me in chat or in the comments, but it is what it is. It's a dumpster fire at the moment when we're hoping to God Pittman can get this thing turned around. But the fact that they even gave Boyd second team, I'm going to give Phil Steele that. Like, thank you. That is the recognition that he deserves. Traylon Burks, third team all conference. Davion Warren, fourth team. I'm a little surprised. He's a pretty good special teams guy, but he got fourth team. Ty Clary, by the way, did not allow a single sack through 443 passing plays in 2019. And you're going to give him fourth all-team. He's fourth team. And then senior long snapper Jordan Silver got fourth team. Bumper Pool was also given fourth team as well. A little surprise. Does Bumper deserve higher? Maybe he does. We know how good the SEC is at that position at linebacker, so it's not super surprising. I'm sorry, fourth team is. I still see it as participation. Like, here you go, you play football, you strap on the pads. But that's your list. Rakeem Boyd, Burks, Warren, Clary, Jordan Silver, and Bumper Pool. Ricky Stromberg not making this list almost has me questioning this whole list. Has Phil Still and his team lost their touch? How do you not put Ricky Stromberg on this list? I mean, you've got 4 teams here. Ricky Stromberg was a monster. You talk to anybody who's kept an eye on Razorback sports that has nothing to do with the state of Arkansas. They'll tell you Ricky Stromberg is someone you got to keep an eye on, and they don't have him on their list. Doesn't even make 4th team all conference. Yeah, I don't know. And again, Clary, who didn't allow a single sack through 443 snaps last year. I don't know where that is throughout the rest of the conference, but that's pretty respectable to put him at fourth team. I don't know. What do you guys think? What apparently I do have someone who defends the idea of having a fourth all team, but tell me what you think of those 6. Do you agree with me that Ricky Stromberg should have been on that list? Because I think he should have. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's something I don't know about Ricky. We talking Warzone smack now. 51 wins, fellas. I'm good. Start a Twitch. I like 3 because third string makes sense in my head. First, second, and third string, all SEC. Well, I think that's what we're accustomed to. You know, that's kind of what it's been for a while. But I can remember a time it was only first and second. 4, I can agree, is overkill. I would be down to play. I haven't played in a while. Big Man Ross says if they have a problem with it, they could go take a flying leap. It's your live stream. You do what you want, damn it. I agree. Hogs, well, poo, too late. I'm here, Tyzil. You're not late. You guys don't worry about being late. I'm happy that you're here. I'm thankful that you're here. Arkansas is better than you think, says Harrison Ingram said on Instagram that the list Corey Evans made on the top schools to get Harrison Ingram was not accurate, and his actual list will surprise some people. Yeah, I think I've heard some rumblings on that as well, actually. Aaron, by the way, thank you for the $5 donation. If you guys want to donate, go down to the links, the description box, click that little down arrow, and there's a PayPal link. You can donate there. I don't have my AdSense revenue all set up. I just haven't done it. In fact, one of the reasons why I haven't done it is because YouTube has actually demonetized several of my videos. I don't know the point. And apparently, I guess donations are all tied up into that. There's donations that are sitting there that I have never cashed out because I haven't finished setting up my AdSense. And I've tried before, and YouTube always throws me to another page like error, sorry, whatever. I don't know. Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm not that tech savvy. I'm just not. I thought I had it set up, but then I guess it isn't. And then YouTube, I don't know. Anyways, if you guys want to donate, please feel free to check out the links down below. You can also join the Patreon as well that is provided down below that goes towards supporting the channel. I still don't understand how Ricky Stromberg doesn't make that list. I don't know how Ricky Stromberg does not make that list. That is just bizarre to me. Phil Still, you're gonna have to. You've got some splaining to do. All right, 2022 in-state players, football players in the state of Arkansas. There's 8 offers now from the University of Arkansas to these fortunate individuals. The newest offer going to Greenland High School. For those of you not familiar with Greenland who don't live up here in Northwest Arkansas. Back in the day when Fayetteville Airport was like it was the most reputable airport that anybody used around here. It's still a small airport, but still, my dad and I would fly from there to go to like Charlotte or Fort Worth or St. Louis. If we didn't feel like driving to St. Louis, we'd go out of Fort Worth or go out of Fayetteville Airport. Of course, that was back before XNA. You keep driving, and you're right past the airport is Greenland, Arkansas. I mean, if you go through it, if you could probably hold your breath throughout the time that it takes to get to Greenland, then you're on to West Fork and so on. Greenland I don't know that they've ever had a player get an Arkansas offer out of Greenland High. I don't know if that's ever been the case. But J.J. Hollingsworth, a 6'4", 250-pound defensive end, who also has offers from Akron and Kansas, has added Arkansas to his list. He is expected to gain some more traction throughout the recruiting process, throughout this cycle. I have no idea where he leans. Don't know, but again, he's got that KU offer. I think Kansas offered him first. So they're all over these prospects. So, yeah, 6'4", 250 pounds. I think they have him listed. Maybe Hooton's has it updated. I'm not really sure, but I think they have him listed like 6'4", 240, but I guess he's put on a little bit of weight, so he's closer to about 250 pounds now. Glad I'm catching some of it. What's up, Mr. TW? How you doing? How you doing, sir? Someone's message got retracted there. Speaking of in-state prospects, I was surprised and sad the number one player in Arkansas. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. That's actually my last thing I wanted to talk about. Haven't watched in a while. Looks like Ty has been through hell and back, but rose like a phoenix from the ashes. Thank you, I guess. I don't know. I've changed my lighting in here. I don't have my overhead light on. I've got a Ring 2022 classes stacked in the state of Arkansas. It is. It's 8 players now. 8 players. We'll go down the list here really quick. Isaiah I think it's Centegna. I don't know. 5'11", 170 pound. Wide receiver out of Fayetteville. Has offers from Baylor and Kansas, Nebraska. So, and he is looked at. Right now, he's not ranked. Again, this is 2022. But, yeah, Fayetteville's got a couple of kids. They got a linebacker, too, you need to keep an eye on. Doesn't have an Arkansas offer yet, but could. You've also got Dax Courtney. Now, he's listed as 6'6", 210 pounds. I mean, that is, yeah, he'd definitely have to pack on some weight if he wants to play tight end in Power 5 football. He's out of DeWitt High School. Has offers from Baylor, surprise, Kansas State, Arkansas State. Then you have James Joyner. Joyner is someone who I believe, if we had camps on schedule, if we had a regular season, because I'm not really sure if we're going to have high school football, or at least I don't know how many games they're going to allow. But if this was business as usual, if this wasn't such an unorthodox offseason, I feel like he would have that 4th star. Again, this is just 247. The composite scores aren't out yet. But they have him rated as an 88 overall 3-star, the number 31 running back in the country, the number 3 prospect in the state of Arkansas, 6 foot, 200 pounds out of a Parkview Magnet. He does have offers from Florida State, Kansas, and Arkansas State and Louisiana Tech. Again, 6 foot, 200 pounds. I don't know much beyond that. By the way, Florida State offered back on May 19th, but Arkansas State was his most recent offer on June 28th. Before that, it was UAB, Florida State, UTSA, and Kansas. Kansas offered him back in March 6th. Kansas, I'm telling you guys, they're going to swoop in here and grab a few of these kids. Moving on, you have also Marion Harris. This is a 4-star prospect, according to 247. Offers from Alabama, Memphis, Miami. Right now, he's got 12 total offers. Don't ask me how many are committable. That's right now way too early to really know. But he is being recruited. He's an offensive tackle, 6'5", 307 out of Joe T. Robinson. Shocker! Joe T. Robinson spitting him out. Yeah, he has an Arkansas offer, and he's right now – the word on the street is that he is definitely leaning towards Arkansas, but of course you guys know what that means. Not a whole lot. Moving on, Maumelle, Arkansas has got a couple of prospects in this 2022 class. 6'6", 284-pound Andrew, is it Chambly or Chambly? I'm not really sure, but he's a 4-star prospect, rated 90 overall in his 247 ranking. The number 1 player in the 2022 Arkansas, state of Arkansas in that class, the number 21 overall player in the country at that position, number 243 nationally ranked. So that's two big time tackles in your state. You remember the last time we had that, and you remember where those two ended up going. Then the next guy, Nico, I don't know if it's Davalier, Nico Davalier, I believe. I apologize. He too is out of Maumelle. Offers from Auburn, Georgia, KU, and Kansas. 6'5", 260 pounds. And then you move on to J.J. Hollingsworth, who we talked about, 6'4", 6'5", 250-pound defensive end, whose other offer is also KU. Shocker. So, there you go. That's your 2022 class so far. Let's see, I'm making sure I didn't miss anybody here. I probably did. Let's go over this really quick. Quincy McAdoo is the other one. Quincy McAdoo, and then we talked about Isaiah, Dax Courtney, let's see, and Marion Harris. We talked about James Jordan. Yeah, so, and then Quincy McAdoo. Yeah, you've also got Quincy McAdoo, 6'3", 375-pound wide receiver, who also has offers from Auburn, Florida State, and Houston. And he just got, what do you know? His last offer was KU. So that's your 2022 class so far. All right. So had a couple of targets, Razorback targets, commit elsewhere. One is pretty shocking. The other one, not so much. John Paul Richardson, you guys might remember him, 3-star wide receiver. Who had some pretty good offers. He had 21 offers on the table. He's a pretty highly rated 3-star. He's pretty highly thought of out of Missouri City, Texas. He goes to Ridge Point High School. He committed to Oklahoma State. That's not super shocking. I think Arkansas was always on his list, but I don't know that – Arkansas was also one of the last schools to offer him as of late. They didn't offer him until May 6th of this year. Oklahoma State supposedly had interest in him in 2019, had shown some interest, kind of followed him, and then they pulled the trigger. I think it was back in January when they actually pulled the trigger. That's not a huge loss. I mean, we know Arkansas's in on some pretty big-time receivers. I hope this isn't a situation where the guys that we were looking at before or the guys that we think we're in on, one of which is a big-time 4-star out of the state of Texas, I hope this isn't a situation where we think, Stepp has done such a great job as a recruiter for the wide receiver position at Arkansas. I hope these guys don't commit elsewhere. And these are kind of your okay, well, we lost out on those guys, but we have these guys. Well, you've just lost one of here's these guys categories, right? Like I don't want to call them the other guys, and I don't want to call them backup plans, but you kind of know where what I'm hinting towards. Your follow-up, or I guess you have to call them your backup plan. I hate to say that. I know I've had some recruits watch these videos, these live streams. But, that sometimes is the case, and the truth is the truth. I do know that Arkansas was very much interested in John Paul Richardson. But he's committed to Oklahoma State. How hard of a commit is he? I don't know. He is committed, and a commit is a commit, but that doesn't mean anything until they sign the dotted line. So nothing's completely out. I think Arkansas they haven't completely backed off on him. I don't know if this was the case of Arkansas backing off. I don't think that is. I don't think that's the case. Could be. I don't know. We'll just have to listen to what Richard Davenport, Trey Biddy, Danny West, what those guys say. Nikki Chavanel, what those people say. I guess you're gonna. That's going to hold the most weight. I haven't heard any of these people say that we've backed off on John Paul, but who knows, that could have been the case. But he did have, like I said, he had offers from Georgia Tech, Arizona, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Houston, but he picked Oklahoma State. So then that leads us to the most recent commit out of Fort Smith, Drayden Norwood. 4-star defensive back, 6 foot, 175 pounds. Plays at Northside High. Been some great players come through Northside out of Fort Smith. He committed to Texas A&M back on July. What was that? The 10th? Wasn't that Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. It was shocking. I was preoccupied this last weekend. Most people that I've been fortunate enough to be able to talk to about recruiting, they were also pretty surprised by this. A&M had and I believe it was Jimbo Fisher, and I think their offensive coordinator, and then maybe another staff member, had a phone call conversation with him last week. And whatever that who knows what he said. And I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, they paid him. I don't know. They did just get in trouble with some recruiting violations that occurred during the 2019 season. The assistant that was more or less blamed for that is now at Tennessee. So I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say that Tennessee or that A&M was cheated to get Norwood. I'm not making that claim at all. I think probably what happened, and I've talked this over with some friends of mine. They felt like, well, yeah, A&M is in a better place, obviously. Jimbo Fisher is a big name in college football despite being pretty average at A&M. And despite the fact that A&M is underachieved, they're still in a far better place than Arkansas, and that's the most obvious thing that we're all going to come to the assumption to, right? We're all going to make that connection. Okay, A&M's in a way better place. They have quite the winning streak on Arkansas. Oh, God, that still just crawls under my skin just a little bit. But it is what it is. I think his pathway to getting on the field quicker is at Arkansas. That may not be that may not be the most important thing to him. Maybe he just wants to go somewhere and play for more. Play for the possibilities of an SEC championship bid. To be able to go toe-to-toe with some of the big dogs. When you're in that situation, you're going to have a broader light cast upon you, right? When you're winning and you're a part of a winning program, and I don't know that you want to throw A&M. They're in a brighter light than Arkansas is currently. That's the only thing. That's the only conclusion that I've been able to come to, and I know a lot of you probably feel the same way. That had to have been it. Everything that I'd been told for months was that he, in fact, it was rumored he was a silent commit to Arkansas since February. So he never went public with his commitment, and then this happens. And there's usually a reason to that. If a kid holds on, and you start hearing about it, you start hearing the smoke. This kid's a silent commit to Arkansas. Now, I haven't heard that about very many prospects in this class. I had kind of heard this a couple months ago. I didn't know until, May that he'd been a silent commit. I never talked about it because, I'm not going to get into it, and I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but someone had reached out to me and said, oh, he's a silent commit. Not the most accurate person to give me this information, but he's been accurate on some other stuff, so I just never really looked into it. Then that was more or less confirmed over the weekend that he had been a silent commit. So when you hear about kids, when you hear the smoke about a kid being a silent commit to one school and then committing elsewhere, that just tells you the longer they hang on to that silent commit, the less likely it seems like they're going to. And this has happened before. You remember the Doral Green Beckham drama. Doral Green Beckham, what class was that? Good Lord, 2011, 2012? Doral Green Beckham, number one prospect in high school football out of Missouri, supposedly had been a silent commit to Arkansas for a couple of weeks. Now, there had been some back and forth there. Missouri sources were saying otherwise, but then everybody else outside of Missouri was saying, no, he's a silent commit to Arkansas, and a lot of recruiting analysts were making the prediction that he'd end up a Razorback. Obviously, Arkansas was in a far better situation at that point in time with Bobby Petrino and the success he was having. And then he never went public with his silent commit, and then he ended up signing with Mizzou. So the longer these kids seem to hang on to their silent commits, if this is true about Norwood, it may not be. Everyone who said that it is, I trust these people who have come out and said this now, and more people have. It's possible that wasn't the case, but it seems like the longer they hang on to that silent commit, then they're just not committed. And really, we can all say, well, until you sign, you're not even a member of that team anyways. And that's the absolute truth. Just because you're committed to a program doesn't mean you're committed to that program necessarily. How often have we seen that? It's an everyday thing. Programs have to deal with it on a daily basis. Kids commit, and then they turn around and decommit. We've already seen that happen with Rogers in this class. And you'll see it more, especially with COVID-19. You're going to see a whole lot of decommitments. I was surprised. I was preoccupied with something this weekend. In fact, when I even found out about it, it had been 4 or 5 hours after the fact that he had gone public with his commitment to Texas A&M. It was surprising. It really was. And it is what it is. We'll see. Arkansas still in the picture. I don't believe Arkansas. Because he's committed there doesn't necessarily mean they can't bring him back. He does still have a lot of interest, and Arkansas has a lot of interest. So that's the good news. You have these two that are still interested. There's always a possibility. Never say never. Especially, here's the other thing. I don't believe he ever even took an unofficial visit to Texas A&M. I don't think he's even been to College Station. Now, maybe he went in the past. I don't know. It had been rumored a little while ago that he did want to take more visits, but obviously with COVID, you don't have that option. So there's still the opportunity that the NCAA lifts the dead period and then allows and then lifts the coach's ability to go in and actually recruit these players in their living rooms. When that happens, if it happens, that could change everything. That really could. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is when that happens. I think they will. I do, because even though, and I'm trying so hard to avoid talking about COVID-19, and I'm not going to talk about where it's projecting right now. I know Governor Hutchinson had come out and talked to the media again today. I haven't had a chance to fully digest all of that information just yet. I think I'd heard where there were some promising signs here and there. I think Pulaski County got hit hard, but Washington County was showing signs of improvement, and the state was showing some signs of improvement in certain areas. But if we start getting a trend of good news, and then the NCAA says, okay, we can now allow these coaches to get on with business as usual with recruiting, in regards to recruiting, that's when Sam Pittman, I've said it before, that's when Sam Pittman's at his best. So that could change a lot, and maybe this class gets bumped up. Here's what I will tell you, and look, unless something drastically changes, if the NCAA does not allow for in-person visits, for official visits, or coaches in the living rooms, those type of in-home visits, this is going to be a tough class. In terms of, they're going to have a hard time, I think, breaking top 40. Don't get me wrong; he's done really well with the FaceTime and all that. But we know that that's when he's at his best, when he's in the living rooms. I've said that here before, time and time again. When he's in the living room with the player and their family, that's when Sam Pittman's at his best. I don't think there's any real debating that. Anyone that knows him, that's played for him, that's coached with him, he is a truly sincere individual, and that rubs off on these families and these prospects. He makes the player, and they all do this, all great recruiters, even average recruiters do this. They make the player feel important. But I think the difference with Sam is he means it. Like, he means it. And anyone in the media that's had the opportunity to get to know Sam feel this way. And again, he's had guys that he's worked with, that he's coached with say this, and former players say this. They love this man. You give someone like that give them the time to go to these homes, to sit down and have dinner with a family or whatever, to actually sit and talk with the families and these prospects. That's going to change a lot. When you're able to get into the homes and change the hearts and minds of these prospects, that goes a lot further than a FaceTime conversation. That's just where I'm at with it. So, until then, if that doesn't happen, and maybe, and I'm not trying to be, this isn't some sort of reaction to Norwood or to Drayden not committing to Arkansas. This is how I felt since NCAA more or less came out and put a damper on all. Well, COVID put the damper on everything, but ever since the NCAA decision to not allow these coaches to do these visits, I've thought it's going to be tough. It's going to be it's going to be difficult for this staff, especially when you consider what they're up against. They are right now, I think you could argue they are absolutely down there with Vanderbilt in the bottom of the conference. That's hard to pull out. It's a perfect storm right now. It's a perfect storm. My God, you got a new coach, new staff, COVID-19. You're taking over a program that's so far towards the bottom. And who knows, that could change this year. I don't know. If they only play an SEC schedule, oh God in heaven. I don't know that it gets much better. I really don't. I think there's an absolute possibility you could go over. You could have 0 wins if you play a conference-only schedule. I think that's on the table. I'm not saying that's what happens, but I don't think anybody should or can debate that, especially when you look at what's happened the last 2 years. That's not off the table, people. If you play a conference-only schedule, it's going to be tough. I don't know if that happens. Again, I'm still in research mode. I'm still trying to read all this stuff and take in what I can when I have the time to do it. Okay. We're done. Oh, did you hear that pop? Did you hear that? That was my arm. I'm getting old. I am feeling 37. Okay. I'm easily 37th team All-American. Oh, God bless you. God bless you, sir. All right, Ty. Gonna have to leave. Happy birthday. How old are you? 17. Yeah, I wish. I was working at Taco Bell when I was 17 years old. Ty, can you talk about one? There will be a ton of recommits in October, and a good percentage of these kids will not be academically eligible by the time they graduate, so they have to recommit and go JUCO. I'm not really sure what you're talking about, Tim. I'm not really sure. There will be a ton of recommits. There will be a ton of. I do think eventually when COVID, again, if they allow these prospects to have in-home visits, to go on official visits, it's going to be. I think it's going to be, every day we're going to be hearing about someone opening their commitment, opening up their recruiting. And decommitting. I absolutely think that's going to happen. But as far as the other one, a good percentage of these kids will not be academically eligible. I don't know. Unless you're talking about because of how, like the reopening of schools in different states and whether or not they maybe meet requirements. I don't know. I'm not really sure, man. We'll have to talk later on that. I'm not really sure what you mean on the second part. Arkansas is better than you think, says if Franks doesn't work out at quarterback and just sucks, then would you give up on the season? No, I never, in terms of their ability to win games, probably, but I'm not going to, I'll still watch, and it's going to be heartbreaking, and those post-game shows are going to be entertaining, I'll tell you that much. Even Danny West said he had given his silent commit. Okay, same thing, Fisher at A&M. Same thing, Fishy, is that what you meant, Fisher? If he fails as a coach but exceeds at being a recruiter, does Arkansas demote him to being line coach / recruiter? I don't think as of now we can afford to lose him a second time, says Alex. They're going to give him, look, this first year you can't hold anything against him. And I believe that for every first-year head coach. They're walking into a situation that they have to fix. Typically, especially at Arkansas, unless you just consider Houston Nutt's like the only firing where it made sense, you understood why they fired him. But it's not like you fired him because he was just an absolute disaster in terms of what, when you look at his body of work, right? That wasn't the situation that Brett Bielema was walking into when he had to take over after John L. and that staff absolutely wrecked any possibility of there being a promising future at Arkansas. That 2012 season just, and then you look at recruiting and how Brett Bielema and Sam Pittman and that staff had to really reconstruct that recruiting class. Those first 2 recruiting classes were actually really good, obviously. I know a lot of you know that. But here, you fast forward to now, Sam Pittman, it's even worse than a dumpster fire. I think what's interesting is I think Sam Pittman inherited, as far as talent, it's a more talented team than what Brett Bielema had taken over. There was more talent on the roster for Sam Pittman to work with. There is more talent on the roster. But it's still bottom 4, in my opinion. It's bottom 4, bottom 5 in the SEC. It might be, I don't know, some have made the case it's the worst. I don't know. I still think Vanderbilt probably the worst. But That's what Sam Pittman's working with on top of COVID-19 in this disastrous offseason. No spring camp. Summer camps are going to, this is all going to come under scrutiny. We know fall camps are going to come under scrutiny. We know that when COVID does, and it probably will, hit the team, it's how do you blame any coaches when you combine all of this BS together? How does anybody hold that coach responsible, let alone it just being a normal first year for any new head coach, especially taking over a program that's in the SEC that is stockpiled with NFL talent to which you have very little. So I'm not going to blame Pittman for year one, but if you're talking, and I do think he'll get 3 years at minimum. We all know Chad didn't progress at all. He regressed, and he just continued to go backwards, and he was fired. 2-10 his first year was unforgivable, but at the same time, it's hard to put all the blame on him, even though I made videos saying he deserved blame. And I had some hatred spewed at me for saying that. And then those people disappeared when he got fired, and it is what it is. It's funny how that works out. Well, when you're wrong, they'll be there in a heartbeat to tell you about it, but when you're right, they don't ever come back to say anything. Is what it is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how anybody could put the blame on Sam Pittman after this first year. I don't know how you do it. If they do, let's say and I've heard 8 games, I've heard 10, I've heard 12 somehow playing a 12-game schedule. I don't know how they do that. But if let's say you play 10 games, let's just say they play 8 because you have 8 conference games, and he goes 0 for 8. Man, it is what it is. Perfect storm, and that's what you got. You got a nightmare situation, and it could happen. It very well could happen. I'm not saying that is going to happen, but it could happen. I meant decommits. I hate spell check. Yeah, there most certainly will be. I agree. There will be decommits. It's coming. Especially if the NCAA allows these coaches to have in-home visits. Happy birthday, Ty. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. If we only play SEC games because of the world situation, do we get one or go winless? That's frightening. Yeah, I don't know. I've had to completely, the way I've been, because, I'd been breaking down Notre Dame. I got done with Nevada. I wanted to knock out all the non-conference teams first and then get into conference play because I want to get these videos out at in the middle of August. I wanted to start pumping out a new video 2 or 3 a week. I wanted to have Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, or maybe just a video on Wednesday and then doing whatever of each team and breaking down each team the way that I did Nevada. I've had to completely change that. If it's division only 6 games, we're 0-6, says Mr. TW. Guys, that is a realistic possibility. I think that it is. Okay, I'm going to end it there. It's almost 5 o'clock. I've got to get some stuff done around here. Again, thank you guys for all your support. The birthday stream tomorrow between 7 and 8 p.m. Click the notification bell. I'll try to post it across social media for you guys, let you give you a heads up. Tribute, he said, if we do conference-only schedule, then we could play some Sunbelt teams. If I understand correctly, the way that the whole narrative is playing teams in your region. Well, guess who's in our region? Memphis, Arkansas State, the Louisiana schools. I would have no problem with that if they could do that. If you could play a full 12-game schedule and you were able to make that happen, who knows? You might actually play Arkansas State. Who knows if the virtual classrooms, quote-unquote, type of classes for high school is going to have an effect on qualifying academically. Yeah, I don't know. And that's a good question, though. Look, we're going to be doing homeschooling. We're going to be doing that here, at least through the fall. My wife and I have come to that conclusion. That's what we're going to do. They're not going to get the same environment as they would in a normal classroom. Is that going to be held against my kids? And how does that reflect on high school kids? And, they've offered online classes in for college for years. I'm sure they're still going to try and uphold their level of their academic qualifications to some degree. I hope they don't hold it against them. By the way, JUCO completely pushed back to spring this year. So you talk about getting into the middle of a screwed up schedule now. JUCO's schedule is so conflicting, especially when you consider where they're at in their workouts, where they're at in the month of February. That JUCO recruiting has now just been affected for years. Doesn't mean you're not going to recruit JUCO, but it's gonna have an effect on the way these coaches look at film, because you're not going to have, you're going to have to wait a little while longer to get that film. You're not going to have those kids. Now they're set back another class, I guess. I'm not really sure how they're going to do that. Hey, if y'all haven't, join the Patreon. Yeah, thank you so much. We'll end on that. I could go on and on. Tomorrow night's going to be fun. Again, Call of Duty. I don't know if we'll play something else. I don't have a whole lot of games on my computer, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I hope you guys can stop by. We can talk some Razorbacks, play some video games, hang out, whatever. Can't do this out in public, as much as I would love to go to Locomotion in Fayetteville or, maybe play some putt-putt golf or something. Can't do that. So we're going to chill here and have a good time. Thank you so much again for all your support, for everybody who's a part of the Patreon or who's donated to the PayPal. Again, those links are provided for you down below in the description box. But that's... this COVID thing is real, folks. No joke. I'm still on my back 16 days after first symptoms. I've lost several friends to it. Oh, I'm only 39 and I'm healthy. Yeah, it's real. Wear your mask. Please wear your mask. So remember to like the video, share the content, and I will see you guys hopefully tomorrow night between 7 and 8 p.m. Looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm probably going to get absolutely crapped on. I'm not very good at Call of Duty Warzone, but I try. I will talk that shit. Make no mistakes about it. I will talk it up, because that's really the strength of my game. I'm going to get inside your head, even though you can't hear me if you're playing Call of Duty Battle Royale. Okay. Till tomorrow night, Woo Pig Shui. You guys be safe.